Hey there, I wanted to take a minute to talk about how to oil a trombone slide. And we first need to recognize that there's actually more than one slide on a trombone. This is what we normally call the slide, and this is what we would normally call the tuning slide. So the tuning slide should move, but it does not have to move really quickly. It should be a little bit firm. You kind of feel like you have to press it to move. The counterweight doesn't usually spin. This just happens to be a vintage model. And this part up here does not get oil. This part up here would get lubricated with grease. And I'm not going to show you how to do that today because here in beginner band mode, we're really just worried about this part, and this needs the oil. Now, when you get more advanced, you're probably going to switch to a silicone droplet along with some slide cream and a spray bottle of water. We're doing remote band, we're doing beginner band remotely, we're keeping it simple, we're using the oil. Unless you happen to have a father who went to college and majored on these things, one of my students, I'm talking to you, if your dad wants to help you with the other system, you can. So these are not oil, these are grease, or slide grease, slide in the quart grease. These are made for this part up here, which I'm not going to talk about today. These are examples of oil. Just because these bottles look similar doesn't mean they're the same thing. This one says oil, this one says grease. The oil is what we want to use on the main part of this slide. These just happen to be different brands. All the oils are pretty much the same. Unless you talk to the oil makers, they say they're all different with different viscosities and things like that. But the basic gist is you slide your outer slide almost to the end. You don't need to take it off, but if it does come off, you know, it's made to come apart. You didn't break it. You're going to notice that at the end of the slide, we've only mentioned 6th position, then there's 7th, and then there's you went too far. At the end of the slide, there's the sleeve. It's hard to tell in this video, but the slide gets a little thicker right there. And this is the main spot where the inner slide and the outer slide touch each other. This is really where we need the oil. We really don't need oil up here so much because the outer slide's a little bigger than the inner slide. I am going to grab a tissue. I normally at school would grab a paper towel because I have those in the band room. So I'm going to take the oil and I'm just going to put some here. I'm going to try not to spill it on the floor. If I do, I just clean the floor. And then I start working it in. Oh, I saw a couple of drops go down. Do not do this on your mother's carpet. Your mother will be mad. Go somewhere without carpet that has a floor that's easy to clean. So you just work it in. Now, some of you are thinking, why do you work it in? Well, if I was to take lotion and I could be like, oh, my hands are dry, I need lotion, and you're like, put a blob of lotion right there and walk away, your hands are still dry, you just got one blob. So you would rub the lotion in. With the slide oil, we don't need to rub into it because moving the outer slide does the rubbing for us. If it still feels a little dry, you can put a couple more drops on and move it around again. So that's how you oil the slide. There's other issues you might have, like if you're trying to move the slide and you hear metal scratching metal, you definitely want to contact your band director who will be able to help you on a video call, determine what the problem is and whether or not you need a repair. So everyone, I hope this helps you with how to oil your slide.